down the craziest moments where refs threw down with WWE superstars. From surprise counters to full-blown brawls, these moments of unexpected defiance have left audiences in shock and wrestlers reeling. So buckle up because things are about to get out of control. Earl Hebner educated DX. Earl Hebner has been a key WWE referee for decades and is known for his fairness and strict attitude. He has overseen many famous matches, including the Montreal Screwjob and numerous WrestleMania events. Hebner's presence in the ring always ensured fairness and order. On the other hand, there's Degeneration X, one of the wildest and most powerful groups in WWE history. Started in the late 1990s by Triple H and Shawn Michaels, DX became famous for breaking rules and defying authority. Earl Hebner and DX had been clashing for weeks. Hebner, a strict rule follower, often had issues with their behavior. Triple H especially had many heated run-ins with Hebner. Known as the Game, Triple H often bent the rules, and Hebner's commitment to fairness made him a problem for DX. The lead-up to the confrontation started with several controversial matches and backstage fights. DX's behavior was getting bolder, and Hebner was losing patience. The tension peaked during a big tag team match between DX and The Rock with the Dudley Boys. As the match went on, DX was up to their usual tricks, breaking rules and taunting their opponents. Hebner, trying to keep order, was losing patience. The tension in the ring was obvious, and Hebner was clearly getting fed up. The turning point came when Triple H, full of arrogance, confronted Hebner directly, shouting and gesturing wildly. The crowd held its breath, wondering what Hebner would do. Known for staying calm, Hebner stood his ground, but the tension was clear. As the match went on, things reached a breaking point. Triple H, feeling confident from earlier, kept taunting Hebner and breaking the rules. Determined to keep order, Hebner was pushed to his limit. Then in a legendary moment, Hebner snapped. He suddenly punched Triple H, knocking him out of the ring. The crowd went wild with shock and disbelief, but Hebner wasn't finished. When X-Pac ran to confront him, Hebner punched him too, dropping him to the mat. The crowd cheered even louder, but the chaos wasn't over yet. Road Dogg, the last DX member in the ring, made the same error as his friends. He rushed at Hebner, who responded in kind. Hebner punched him, and Road Dogg went flying off the mat. The referee had defeated 3 of DX's most infamous members by himself, sending the crowd into a frenzy. Hebner had that main character arc, and so did the next referee. Scott Armstrong attacked The Miz. The Miz is a WWE wrestler famous for being cocky and talking a lot of trash, making him one of the least liked guys in the locker room. But at the 2011 Night of Champions event, he finally faced someone who could stand up to him, Scott Armstrong. Scott started his career as a wrestler, competing in different organizations. Later, he switched to being a referee. His experience as a wrestler helped him do a great job as a referee, handling the tough physical aspects of WWE matches with authority and respect. As a referee, Armstrong was known for being strict and keeping things under control in the wild WWE environment. However, even the calmest referees can reach their limit, and Armstrong's moment came in 2011 during the Night of Champions event. The Night of Champions event was expected to be a big deal, with exciting matches and fierce rivalries reaching their peak. One of the main attractions was the Tag Team Championship match with The Miz and his partner R-Truth, going up against the current champions. Earlier in the night, during the Tag Team Championship match, things got intense. Scott Armstrong was the referee, and it quickly became clear that The Miz and R-Truth weren't going to follow the rules. They used every dirty trick they could, from illegal double teaming to using the ropes for an advantage. Armstrong kept warning them, but they ignored him. The match hit a breaking point when The Miz and R-Truth, frustrated they couldn't win fairly, decided to take control themselves. They completely disregarded Armstrong's authority, leading to a heated argument in the ring. Armstrong, usually very patient, had finally had enough. He disqualified The Miz and R-Truth, giving the victory to their opponents. The Miz and R-Truth were furious. They felt wronged and embarrassed, and they weren't going to let it go. As Armstrong tried to leave the ring, The Miz and R-Truth confronted him, their anger obvious. The tension was intense, and the crowd could feel that something big was about to happen. With Triple H's CEO position at stake in the main event later that night, the pressure was higher than ever. Still angry from being disqualified earlier, The Miz and R-Truth saw a chance to make a statement. They decided to invade the ring during the main event, hoping to disrupt the match and get back at Armstrong. As the big match between CM Punk and Triple H began, everyone was buzzing with excitement. The audience was on the edge of their seats, ready for surprises. Suddenly, The Miz and R-Truth burst into the ring, creating total mayhem. The referee, Armstrong, got caught up in the chaos once again. The Miz, known for never backing down from a fight, started taunting Armstrong, pushing him to his breaking point. Armstrong, already fed up with The Miz's behavior earlier in the night, decided he had enough. In a moment that WWE fans would never forget, Armstrong fought back, punching The Miz square in the face. The crowd went wild, shocked and excited by this unexpected twist. Armstrong Armstrong, who was supposed to be a neutral referee, took matters into his own hands and stood up to one of WWE's most disliked villains. The Miz, known for his confident and boastful attitude, was briefly shocked. His surprised expression was priceless, a rare moment of vulnerability for the typically overconfident superstar. However, the celebration didn't last long. Right away, R-Truth, the Miz's partner, reacted. When he saw Armstrong attack his friend and tag team partner, R-Truth retaliated by attacking Armstrong from behind with force. He hit Armstrong hard, causing the referee to fall to the mat. Security and officials rushed to the ring to stop the fight, but the damage was done. Armstrong, despite being hurt, had made his statement. The man, the myth, the legend Armstrong didn't do this once, but twice. Scott Armstrong versus CM Punk. As a referee in WWE, Scott Armstrong's job was to keep things orderly in the midst of all the chaos. He officiated some of the biggest matches and was known for being fair and honest. But being a referee had its tough moments. His clash with CM Punk started heating up during Punk's intense rivalry with The Undertaker in 2009. Armstrong found himself caught in the middle, and his decisions soon sparked one of WWE's most memorable conflicts. The major incident occurred during a submission match at Breaking Point. Armstrong controversially ended the match, declaring The Undertaker the winner, even though Punk didn't give up. This decision made Punk extremely angry and feeling betrayed, setting the stage for a huge showdown between them. The tension was intense, and WWE fans were about to witness a rare and shocking moment where a referee stood up against a top WWE superstar. The controversial decision at Breaking Point was just the start of it. CM Punk, famous for speaking his mind and seeking justice, wasn't going to let Scott Armstrong's call go unnoticed. Punk's frustration boiled over, leading to intense arguments backstage. He accused Armstrong of favoritism and not being fair when officiating his matches. The tension between them was obvious, and it was clear this conflict was far from finished. CM Punk's anger didn't stop with backstage clashes. He grabbed the mic and delivered blistering speeches against Armstrong, questioning his honesty and challenging his authority. Fans eagerly anticipated a showdown. Armstrong, known for his tough demeanor, stood his ground, refusing to be shaken by Punk's verbal attacks. The tension peaked when WWE officials announced a groundbreaking match: CM Punk versus Scott Armstrong. It was a rare moment in WWE history where a referee would step into the ring to compete. The announcement shocked WWE fans, who were excited to see how Armstrong, a former wrestler, would do against one of the company's top stars. As the match day neared, both men prepared in their own ways. Armstrong, relying on his wrestling experience, trained hard to prove himself against Punk. Meanwhile, CM Punk showed confidence, taunting Armstrong and promising to teach him a memorable lesson. Excitement filled the air, and WWE fans eagerly anticipated the showdown. The match started with CM Punk teasing Armstrong, making fun of him and landing light punches. But Armstrong, driven by determination and pride, fought back fiercely, surprising both Punk and the crowd. There was a moment when it seemed Armstrong might gain the upper hand. The audience was captivated, seeing a referee stand up to a top WWE superstar. However, CM Punk's experience and skill soon prevailed. He regained control, dominating Armstrong with powerful moves. Despite Armstrong's brave effort, Punk's relentless attack was too much. In a final act of disrespect, Punk pinned Armstrong using just his foot, securing an easy win. If you didn't think Scott was OP enough, then the next one will shock you. Brad Maddox beat down on Ryback. To understand how important this incident was, let's look at the backgrounds of the main people involved. Brad Maddox, whose real name is Tyler Klutz, started his wrestling career in WWE's developmental territories, like Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW. He was known for his agility and technical skills. However, his career took an unexpected turn when he became a referee. Usually, referees ensure fair play and maintain order, but Maddox was different. He was ambitious and saw his new role as a chance to achieve something bigger. On the other side of the ring was Ryback, born Ryan Reeves. Ryback was incredibly strong and built like a rock. Known for his power and aggression, he quickly climbed the WWE ranks. His catchphrase, "Feed me more," became popular with fans, and he was known for easily defeating his opponents. By 2012, both Maddox and Ryback were headed for a showdown. Ryback was rapidly rising and seemed destined for the WWE Championship, becoming a fan favorite with his powerful matches. Meanwhile, Maddox was waiting for the right moment to make his impact. The stage was set for the Hell in a Cell event, one of WWE's most brutal match types. Inside the steel cage, anything could happen, and the stakes were high. The main event had CM Punk defending his WWE Championship against the unstoppable Ryback. Punk, known for his cleverness, was determined to keep his title at all costs. As the match started, it was clear Ryback was in control. He threw CM Punk around easily, showing his incredible strength. The WWE Universe watched in awe, thinking Ryback would win the championship. But hidden in the shadows was Brad Maddox, the match referee, who saw a chance to change his career. Maddox, tired of just being a referee, wanted to be a bigger part of the action. As Ryback continued to dominate, Maddox made a surprising move that changed his career. During the match, Maddox hit Ryback with a low blow, causing the powerhouse to fall. The crowd was shocked as Maddox quickly counted to 3, letting CM Punk keep his WWE Championship. Chaos erupted and Ryback, feeling betrayed, attacked Maddox. If Maddox wasn't mad enough, then wait till you find out what happens next. Earl Hebner punched Shane McMahon. During the Attitude Era, this rivalry was one of the most intense in WWE. Triple H, known for his ruthless tactics and win-at-all-costs attitude, often clashed, with referees trying to keep order in his matches. Earl Hebner, a top WWE referee, frequently officiated Triple H's matches and was well aware of his sneaky methods. In an April 2000 episode of SmackDown, a big match was scheduled with Triple H teaming up with Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan against The Rock and the APA. Fans were excited because of the big names involved, but the match became memorable for another reason. As it went on, tensions grew, and it was obvious that Triple H and his team were ready to do anything to win. Shane McMahon, the bold and arrogant son of WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. Shane was known for getting involved in matches, usually causing trouble for his opponents. In this match, Shane jumped onto the ring apron and grabbed referee Earl Hebner by the collar. This was too much for Hebner, who had already dealt with many wrestlers like Triple H trying to push him around. The fallout from Earl Hebner's punch on Shane McMahon reverberated across the wrestling landscape. Seeing a referee stand up to a member of the powerful McMahon family was unexpected. Earl Hebner's defiant act struck a chord, particularly with those tired of referees being mistreated by wrestlers. Ah, classic Hebner. You may be thinking he's done, but there's more. Earl Hebner on Triple H. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, WWE experienced a turbulent period known as the Attitude Era. This era had more daring storylines, intense rivalries, and a high level of excitement that constantly thrilled fans. It was during this time that Earl Hebner became involved in a series of conflicts with one of WWE's top stars, Triple H, who was known for his dominance in the ring. Triple H, nicknamed The Game, played a pivotal role during the Attitude Era in WWE. Known for his strong build, aggressive attitude, and strategic skills, he swiftly climbed to the pinnacle of WWE fame. He was part of the notorious group D-Generation X, and later became a significant member of the corporation, where his knack for bending the rules often stirred conflict. This frequently led to clashes with referees, whose job was to keep things under control in the often chaotic WWE environment. The tension between Earl Hebner and Triple H began to build during a 6-man tag team match on an episode of SmackDown in the year 2000. The match featured Triple H, The Rock, and Big Boss Man, with Shane McMahon getting involved from ringside. As the intensity of the match escalated, Shane McMahon climbed onto the edge of the ring, trying to sway the outcome. It was at this critical juncture that Earl Hebner decided to take action. In a surprising move, Hebner shoved Shane off the apron, causing him to crash to the ground. The audience erupted in cheers, witnessing a rare instance from the typically impartial referee. But Hebner's actions didn't end there. After dealing with Shane McMahon, Hebner focused his attention on Triple H, who was visibly shocked by the referee's boldness. Hebner pushed Triple H to the mat, asserting his authority in a manner that caught everyone off guard. This showdown marked the start of a series of intense confrontations between Hebner and Triple H, laying the groundwork for one of WWE's most unforgettable rivalries. Less than a week later, on another episode of SmackDown, Hebner made a controversial call that escalated their feud even further. During a match between Triple H and Chris Jericho, Hebner counted a fast pin, awarding Jericho the win and the WWE Championship. Although the decision was later overturned, the damage was already done. Triple H was furious, and Hebner found himself in the crosshairs of the Game's anger. This incident highlighted Hebner's readiness to challenge Triple H, even if it meant risking his well-being. Triple H's feud with Hebner intensified over the following weeks. During an episode of Raw, Triple H confronted Hebner backstage, accusing him of showing favoritism and lacking professionalism. The confrontation turned physical as Triple H forcefully pushed Hebner against a wall, issuing threats. Despite the intimidation tactics, Hebner stood his ground, refusing to back down from the WWE superstar. This backstage clash only escalated their hostility, leading to more intense confrontations in the wrestling ring. One of the most memorable incidents of their rivalry unfolded during a match between Triple H and The Rock. As the match reached its peak, Hebner found himself once again in the thick of the action. Frustrated by what he perceived as unfair officiating, Triple H shoved Hebner to the mat in a moment of heated disagreement. However, displaying remarkable resilience, Hebner swiftly regained his composure and retaliated with a punch that staggered Triple H. The audience erupted in applause, witnessing a rare instance where a referee stood up to a WWE superstar in such a dramatic fashion. Well, I guess that's enough Hebner for a while, but the next ref was totally a maniac. Jack Doan stands up to test. The atmosphere was electric on that fateful night in 2003. WWE Raw was in full swing, and the crowd was buzzing with anticipation. The match on the card was a highly anticipated showdown between the high-flying Jeff Hardy and the powerhouse Test. Little did anyone know, this match would go down in history for reasons no one could have predicted. Test, standing at 6'6" and weighing in at 280 pounds, was a force to be reckoned with. Known for his ruthless aggression and no-nonsense attitude, Test had built a reputation as one of the most intimidating figures in the WWE. His opponent, Jeff Hardy, was the complete opposite. Hardy was known for his daredevil stunts, high-flying maneuvers, and never-say-die attitude. The clash of styles promised to be a thrilling encounter. As the match began, Test used his size and strength to dominate Hardy. He tossed Hardy around the ring like a rag doll, delivering punishing blows and powerful slams. The crowd watched in awe as Test showcased his brute force, but Hardy, ever the resilient competitor, refused to stay down. He fought back with his signature high-flying moves, keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. During this intense battle stood referee Jack Doan, a seasoned WWE official. Doan had been with the company since the early 1990s. Known for his professionalism and ability to maintain order in the ring, Doan had seen it all, but nothing could have prepared him for what was about to unfold. The turning point of the match came when Test had Hardy down for what he believed was a sure 3 count. Test had delivered a devastating big boot to Hardy, and as Hardy lay motionless on the mat, Test went for the pin. Doan dropped to the mat and began the count. 1, 2. But just before his hand hit the mat for the 3rd time, Hardy managed to kick out. The crowd erupted in cheers, but Test was livid. Enraged, Test got in Doan's face, towering over him and shouting obscenities. Fans watched in shock as Test, in a fit of anger, shoved Doan, sending him stumbling backwards. It was a moment that could have easily ended with Doan backing down, but what happened next left everyone in utter disbelief. Jack Doan, a man who had spent his career maintaining order and ensuring fair play, decided he had had enough. In a moment of sheer defiance, Doan stood his ground. With the crowd roaring in anticipation, Doan retaliated with a swift and unexpected punch to Test's jaw. The arena erupted in cheers as Test staggered back, stunned by the referee's audacity. But Doan wasn't done. Test, now even more furious, lunged at Doan, but the referee was ready. Doan dodged Test's attack and delivered a series of quick jabs, each one landing with precision. As Test tried to regain his composure, Hardy seized the opportunity. With Test distracted, Hardy climbed to the top rope and launched himself at Test, delivering a breathtaking swanton bomb. The impact left Test reeling, and Hardy quickly went for the pin. Doan, still reeling from the confrontation, dropped to the mat and counted the 3 count, securing Hardy's victory. Jack Doan used his hands, but our next referee lashed out with, well, his mouth. Rod Zapata scolds Cesaro and Sheamus. Rod Zapata, though not as famous as the wrestlers he referees, became an unexpected hero one night in 2017. The moment unfolded during a live event match featuring Cesaro and Sheamus, known as the Bar Against the Shield. The crowd was pumped up, eagerly watching as the tension in the air added to the excitement of the match. Cesaro and Sheamus, known for their raw power and straightforward approach, were right in their element. They were known for their toughness and intimidating presence, frequently using their physical prowess to overpower their opponent. However, on this specific occasion, their aggression took an unexpected turn. It was aimed at the referee, Rod Zapata. As the match progressed, Cesaro and Sheamus became more and more frustrated with how things were unfolding. They wanted to show their superiority, so they targeted Zapata as an outlet for their anger. The Bar tried to scare him, cornering him, and using their size and strength to try to intimidate him. However, Zapata wasn't someone who backed down easily. In a courageous move that amazed the audience, he chose to stand up for himself. The crowd cheered loudly as Zapata defiantly faced off against Cesaro and Sheamus. It was a moment where even referees showed they had their limits. Zapata's actions that evening became legendary in WWE history, etching a lasting memory of a referee standing up to wrestlers. Rod Zapata's courage. That night endeared him to WWE fans worldwide, showcasing that in professional wrestling, unexpected heroes can emerge at any time. In the backstage area, Zapata received applause and congratulations from his colleagues. His brave stance not only won the hearts of fans, but also earned him the respect of fellow referees and wrestlers alike. It was a night that would be talked about for years to come. Zapata was daring, but the next ref took things to a super level, literally. Danilo Amphibio's super kick on Rusev. Meet Danilo Amphibio, a WWE referee whose career took a pivotal turn on March 28, 2018. During a high-stakes SmackDown Live event, Amphibio was overseeing a 6-man tag team match. The bout featured top WWE stars AJ Styles and the USOs facing off against powerful opponents Rusev, Aiden English, and Baron Corbin. Little did anyone anticipate that this seemingly routine match would catapult Amphibio into WWE folklore. As the match approached its most intense moment, emotions ran high and the audience was gripped with anticipation. anticipation. Unexpectedly, Danilo Anfibio stunned everyone by removing his referee shirt and executing a super kick on Rusev. The arena burst into a mix of astonishment and thrill as Anfibio covered Rusev for the pin, while AJ Styles stepped in as the new referee to count to 3. The fallout from Danilo Anfibio's surprise super kick on Rusev was incredibly dramatic. Fans were excited by the sudden twist in the match, but behind the scenes, there was a tense atmosphere among producers and talent relations staff. Aiden English, who was involved in the match, shared that WWE officials swiftly approached the wrestlers. Producers and talent relations staff were furious, viewing the incident as a serious violation of rules and a potential risk to the company's reputation. English described how they faced harsh consequences, such as possible termination of their contracts and hefty fines ranging from $10,000 to $20,000. English discussed his experience on his YouTube channel, shedding light on the intense scrutiny they endured. He described how the planned moment was intended to be enjoyable and whimsical, yet WWE management interpreted it differently. Referee Danilo Anfibio faced a serious risk, with discussions circulating about the possibility of him losing his job due to the incident. Later on, WWE superstar John Cena intervened to calm things down. Cena, known for his strong leadership and generosity, volunteered to cover the fines imposed on the wrestlers involved. Finally, here is the people's referee, not exactly being a people person, Mike Kyoto on Nick Patrick. Mike Kyoto is a name deeply connected with WWE refereeing. Over more than 30 years, Kyoto has overseen some of WWE's most memorable matches. But beyond his role as a referee, Kyoto has shown he's not afraid to get physically involved in the ring, demonstrating that even referees can become part of the action. Kyoto started his journey in WWE in the late 1980s and quickly climbed the ranks to become one of the most relied upon officials in the company. Renowned for his professionalism and sharp attention to detail, Kyoto was frequently assigned to officiate high-stakes matches, including iconic showdowns such as Hulk Hogan versus The Rock at WrestleMania 18 and John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 28. However, it was during the Invasion storyline in 2001 that Kyoto truly displayed his adaptability and readiness to step into the spotlight. One of the standout moments from this era was a thrilling 6-man tag team bout. It featured Mike Kyoto alongside The Rock and Chris Jericho, facing off against the Dudley Boys and WCW's referee, Nick Patrick. This match summarized the fierce rivalry between WWE and WCW, delivering all the drama and excitement fans had come to expect. The match reached its peak when Mike Kyoto unexpectedly pulled off a hilarious stunt by performing the People's Elbow on Nick Patrick, clinching victory for his team. The People's Elbow, famously used by The Rock, is known for its electrifying effect on audiences in the world of sports entertainment. Witnessing a referee execute such a move was both astonishing and incredibly entertaining. Fans erupted with cheers as Kyoto executed the elbow drop, demonstrating that referees can step beyond their usual roles as impartial officials. Did you enjoy this video? Click on any of the cards on your screen right now for similar content. Thank you.